What's up, you guys? It's Brandon from Flesh and Blood Brothers. And this is going to be a Kano deck tech for ProQuest Season 3. Apologies, I'm still getting over a cold, but wanted to get this video out to you guys. So, we're running a pretty standard suite of equipment. We got the Tunic and Storm Striders, and the Ragamuffin's hat and Metacarpus node. This is pretty much the equipment you'll be using all the time. I do have Waning Moon and Constellus for the Wizard Mirrors, and Waning Moon against decks that are very slow, like Oldham and Icelander, but most of the time you'll be using the default 5 here. So this deck does rely on the Wildfire combo to win the game, and that is fueled by Blazing Aether, of course. 0 cost, does X damage, whereas that's the amount of arcane damage you've dealt this turn. So using Ragamuffin's hat to put this from your hand on top of your deck while you have a floating Kano activation is critical to do anywhere from 10 to 20 extra damage and close out the game. I have had videos in the past where I explain the combo in full detail, but I'll be making an updated video explaining the plays you'll be doing with this deck. 3 Tome of Aetherwind. It's a 0 cost, and 99% of the time you're going to choose to draw a card twice, so draw 2 cards. You flip this over, you get a lucky flip on Kano. It is speed, 0 cost, bam, draw 2 cards, keep the turn going. Very powerful card. Cindering Foresight. I do like 1 copy in every matchup, so this is usually a sideboard card, but you can play it at instant speed on your opponent's turn. Gives your arcane damage +1, and you opt 3. So opting 3 on your opponent's turn, obviously you can fish for the perfect high damage spell to throw at them to put some pressure on their own turn. Very good card to just kind of surprise the opponent with. I have 2 Aether Darts here. These next 5 cards actually can be swapped out depending on the matchup, but the default, aggro matchup, the default fast game, I'll throw 2 Aether Darts in because it's a 0 for 3. During your Wildfire turn, you can flip this over. It's a 0 cost that has buffed damage, so just helps you play more things on your opponent's turn when you need to do damage. I got 3 Aether Flare here. Aether Flare is very good it punishes low AB opponents very hard, and it also puts pressure on your high AB opponents because, it does 3, and it would buff the next thing by that much more. So if you have a Wildfire that buffs this, your next spell will pretty much get buffed, a double Wildfire buff. So it can get pretty crazy. So that's why I like 3 copies of that, and it costs 1 to cast. Aether Wildfire is your engine. It's your win condition, essentially. So you got 3 copies, but most of the time you'll only need 1 Wildfire turn to really close the show. Ideally, you'll put this in your arsenal sometime pretty much as soon as you see it. Get an energy potion or 2, crack your Storm Striders, and go to town on your opponent's turn and win the game. Again, I explained that combo in full detail in a previous video, and I'm making a updated video, so be ready to check that out. But yeah, Wildfire is your money card here. 3 red Aether Spindle is amazing. It's 2 for 4, so you pitch a blue, buff it, so you come in for 5, and you opt X, where X is the damage dealt. So on your own turn, all you need to do is a blue, buff it, cast it, and you can opt for your next hand, and or your opponent really has to block this out, so it's going to slow down their next turn. But again, on a Wildfire turn, if you opt 9, you win the game because you're going to find the correct cards to close out the game. Literally every time I've had a Wildfire and then a Spindle for 9, I've won the game because you find the perfect hand, the perfect Kano flips. There's just no stopping you. Swell Tidings, this is from Dynasty. That's as a ponder token. So on your turn, pitch a blue to Crucible and buff this to 6. So if they don't do anything about it, they take 6 damage, you get a ponder token, you draw a card, and you can put in your arsenal. But yeah, it's just Voltic Bolt with extra text. Very, very efficient to just pitch a blue and do 6, pitch a blue, do 6, get your Wildfire ready, and you know, your chip damage is already done for you. Alright, moving on to the yellows. 3 Tome of Fyendal, best card in the game other than Wildfire. What you're going to do is, before you get a Wildfire in your arsenal, you're going to arsenal this. Use your Tunic resource to pay for this. Draw 2 cards, and you're going to gain anywhere between 3 and 5 health because the Tunic resource allows you to not pitch. So that way you have more cards in your hand when you draw 2 and gain the health. And then from there you can just pitch blues to do some Kanos when you're trying to do some damage on your own turn. So yeah, I usually cast, on games that I cast 2 tomes from Arsenal, I pretty much win all those games because you gain like 8 life, and then you get your Wildfire in your arsenal and you're ready to go. So yeah, every time I cast 2 of these from Arsenal, I usually win the game. Bada bing, bada boom. Less than a lava. Again, this is another one of your combo pieces. It's 1 for 3. And then when it deals damage, you put a wizard card with that much cost or less on top of your deck. And again, you pitch a blue, flip that over, cast an instant speed. So less than lava into Blazing Aether, obviously, to double up on all your damage. Combo piece, love to see it. Sonic Boom. It's 2 for 3, but again, you can pitch a blue, buff it to 4 with Crucible. And then you flip over the top card of your deck and play it, and it costs that many less resources. So when I was talking about red Aether Spindle earlier, I opted 9. I did a Sonic Boom. Top of my deck, flipped another Sonic Boom, flipped another Sonic Boom, and then a Blazing. So, you know, that op 9 is very powerful, and these Sonic Booms can chain together to do some devastating turns. On to the blues. I have 30 blues here. There's always 30 blues in the deck. Some people go even more hardcore into 33 blues. I find 30 is enough for me. So 30 blues every time. Here we go. Potion of Deja Vu. At instant speed, you destroy this and put all cards from your pitch on the top of your deck. So let's say I have a Sonic Boom in my hand and I don't have Striders anymore. I can pitch Sonic Boom to Crucible and then have 1 floating, and then put this on top of my deck, and then I have 1 floating. I'll pitch a blue to Kano, boom, and then I just need to you know, pay for it, and I'll come in for 4, and then keep going off of that. So Potion of Deja Vu is just another way to cast things from your hand at instant speed pretty quickly. So it helps you close out the game on your opponent's turn after you use your Storm Striders. 3 energy potions, amazing. If there's ever a time where you have 2 energy potions on the board and Wildfire in your arsenal, you're pretty much going to win the game. Because between that and like 3 blues in your hand, you have plenty of resources to just go off and do plenty of damage. So energy potion, very important in this game. Gaze the Ages, my favorite blue, other than energy potion probably, because it's free. It lets you opt 2, and then when it resolves, you put it in your hand. So like let's say I played Tome of Fyendal for my arsenal, and then I did Kano and I flipped this over. So it is at speed. I can opt 2 more, put this back in my hand, and then I can pay for another Kano activation and flip the card that I opted over. So it's pretty insane, and yeah, it just keeps the party going, keeps the combo going. New from Dynasty, Prognosticate. It's a new 0-cost blue. So so far these are all my 0-cost blues. There's so many of them. So in your Wildfire turn, if you flip over a 0-cost blue with Kano, you can just boom, free, 0 cost, come in for like 5 damage. So yeah, it also has a bonus surge effect. If it deals more than 1 damage, you can opt 1, so that's pretty nice. so 3 of those for sure. 3 saps, it's another 0 for 1, and if it does more than 1, you can remove a counter from their Fyendal Spring Tunic, which I did a few times actually during my ProQuest game, so that was kind of fun. We got Zap, 0 for 1, and Aether Dart, another 0 for 1, but this can also target Ash Wings if you need. All right, so yeah, that was a significant amount of zero cost blues. I have 2 Scalding Rain in here. It's just 1 for 2. I just put 2 in there to round out my count to 30 since I have 1 Potion of Deja Vu. Aether Quickening, this is a new a new 1 for 2. The go again's not very relevant, but if you buff it on your own turn, you can do some nutty things. Aether Flare, 1 for 1, but again, it buffs that next card. So on Wildfire turn, if you flip this over, it'll still do like 5 instead of 1, and you can buff your next thing by that much. So it's just another surprise way to buff mid-combo. And then our only 2-cost blue is Aether Spindle. So again, this is 2 for 2, but then you get the opt effect. So the opt effect is very powerful. The more you opt, the more you can flip over the perfect thing to really hurt your opponent and overcome that 30 life deficit. That 10 life deficit because you start at 30 health. Quick look at the sideboard. It's pretty much exclusively for the Dracai matchup. So 3 blue Singe come in to deal 1-1. I would just take out another 1-cost blue of your choice and throw in the blue Singe. And then the red Singe, these come in. You take out the 2 for 5s. Again, yeah, so pretty much you take out your reds that are not non-combo reds to bring in the Singes, 2 Dampens, 1 more Aether Dart to bring it to 3. So yeah, all these come in against Dracai, the Singes, the Dampens, and the 3rd Dart. And then these are just my YOLO sideboard pieces. A 2nd copy of Cindering Foresight can be fun against decks like Phi, anything crazy fast, because you want to opt through your deck as quick as possible to get a Wildfire in your arsenal. So that's the point of that 2nd Cindering Foresight copy. Emeritus Scalding pairs very well with Cindering Foresight because it's red, so 2 for 6 on your opponent's turn. But if you do this, it becomes a 2 for 7. And if you have the resources, it'll be a 2 for 8. So you can come in for a 2 for 8 off of Cindering Foresight in a blue pitch, which is not bad. And really surprise your opponent on his turn. And then Chain Lightning, I also have 2. I would take out maybe like the red Aether Darts for this, but this is just another combo enabler. So in those really long grinding games, I'd bring these in. So you got Chain Lightning, you got Storm Striders, and you got Potion of Deja Vu to help you play certain cards at instant speed throughout the game as you need. So there's the sideboard. And yeah, this is always a 60-card main deck with 30 blues, 9 yellows, and the rest reds. So this deck's been performing very well for me. All my games are very close, and all my wins are very satisfying, and all my losses are literally like to the wire, like last 1 to 3, and it's real fun grind. So hope you guys enjoyed that deck tech. And again, I do have a Kano combo video that I'll put a card up for, and then I'm working on an updated video to show you the various plays you can do with this Kano deck. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.